start a new thing. Then I have to make sure I get the chat on YouTube. Okay, la di da di da di da. Okay, it says I'm live. Good evening, everyone. Whoopsie. We're gonna be excuse me. We're gonna be doing some more art for the manga that I am doing for Halloween because, well, I'm bored. There's nothing to do. So I'm in a drawing mood, so I'm like, okay, let's just do an art stream because why the hell not? Now, I'm not running the full blown setup like through OBS and stuff. I'm just running it how I usually run it. So you will hear the like taps on the screen and all that, but again, it's not the worst thing in the world. I debated so much on sharing this because, well, it's a special thing, but yeah, we are going to be working on I think we're on page 62 at this point. And we're actually at a pretty interesting point of the manga because, well, we're in, I think, episode 2. And I think that I would consider this probably the end of section 2, unless it's too short. I'm not too entirely sure. The pacing for this one's been all over the damn place, so it'll definitely be interesting. So I think I know where I'm gonna go with this. Luckily, I do have a secondary device to check for things and stuff like that. So, if I need a reference or something like that, because a new character was just introduced into this chapter, so I don't know her design very well at all. I did draw her, but it was kind of an on the fly design, I'm not gonna lie. Like, it was just like off the top of my head, like, what looks like very, attuned to this character, so I just went for him. But anywho, I gotta figure out how I start this. This is always the hardest part, it's just the pacing. Like figuring out where to start, where to begin it. So let me just take a look at the previous panel. So I'm just picking you up. Okay, I feel like we're gonna cut to Drusilla here. That's the main character of the story. I just don't want to repeat too many like panel ideas. Like that's the thing with manga. It's really hard to like differentiate things, but I usually just do something like this just for a start, just to kind of start adding some paneling. So I was thinking two things. Either a close up of the character that we just made's mouth, like her face, talking, or like an extended hand that kind of would reflect off of one of the previous pages. That would make sense actually, because it kind of does what's the word? Like it's a play off of it, I guess you could say. But drawing the mouth is a lot more easier, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know, guys. No, still learning this. But I'm thinking about going like one panel up here just to kind of differentiate the pages. Because the pages have been very like, top panels like big triangle and then the rest like kind of breaks apart. I say we just go for it. Because why the hell not? Okay, panel 1. Hopefully my tablet just plays nice. So this is where we would start. Okay, now I've just got to remember her bangs. How did her bangs work? Oh yeah, one side of the face is covered by hair. Okay, this might be a little bit tricky then, but that's the point. It's supposed to be tricky. It's supposed to be challenging, ladies and gentlemen. trying not to repeat this too much, but it's kind of hard to. Do I have my thing on? Yes, I do. Could go full face. Whoa. Oh my god, really? Sorry guys, I'm having a hard time with this for some reason. Yeah, side angle really isn't one of my tops. I'll tell you that right now. So, you may see a little bit of art rage if it doesn't play out correctly. And it's always because I just forget some little subtle details. But again, we'll get over it. It's no big deal. Like, for one thing, the mouth would be open. So, let's see. So if the mouth's open, like so. Oh, Lord Almighty. I think I know what's wrong. Yeah, I've really debated on sharing this one because, you know, it's for Halloween, but I figured why the hell not? People will watch it still. I hope. Okay, then you got the bump for the lip, and then it goes down to the chin. Kind of comes out like that, and then just connects. If I can get my art bump to stop being a butt. There we go. That's more the shaping we're looking for. This one has definitely, certainly tested my abilities. Most certainly, yes, it has. But I've been researching and watching animes to really get a good grip on how to do different things and stuff like that. Okay, I think that the chin curvature needs to go up more. Like, this is literally my art process. I just kind of wing it and then see what happens. Mouth doesn't look wrong. But there's something up with the head still. And I think it's that the nose is a little too flat. Whoa, okay, we don't want a snout. We just want a standard nose. Yeah, that's it. That's about the right ratio. Of course, the last time I said that, we had an art rage. Sometimes your stabilizer makes things easy, sometimes makes things very fucking difficult. Like I said, this is just a work in progress, so it is what it is. Okay. Okay. We're getting somewhere. Somewhat. Okay, that'd be the chin line. So that would curve up. How far back does that go? Because where your chin line usually connects is where your ear would be, but that's kind of hard to tell where everything is right now. Okay. Then the neck. For the neck, we go out. There's your collarbone. Kind of goes out like that, then just kind of flattens out. Okay. Right now I'm just trying to build something so I can get an idea of what I'm doing. Okay. The other thing is fangs. Thank God for Red Hill teaching me some monster anatomy, like how to actually draw some monster anatomy. Like, definitely every manga has paid its debt in some way. Okay, that doesn't look too bad for now. Alright, so now what we need to do is add her hair. We're not really adding too much detail because, well, it's a manga. Okay, what are her bangs like? Just the what side of the face are we on? We are on the one that is covering her eye. Okay, so this is going to be interesting. Especially considering this is a new character I've never even experimented with. Okay, well, first place you start always is the center. And it's like that, basically. Goes up. Did I turn off the... No, I did not. Kinda. Kinda something like that. And then I think what we just do is just kind of... How are those things shaped? They're just straight, aren't they? Straight curved triangles, yep. Oops. My bad. Wrong device. Okay. So for the covering of the eye, we just kind of go something like this. Okay, that's a little shit. And then they just kind of progressively get longer. I'm having to do this with one hand, by the way, so that's why they're kind of sloppy. But that's okay. A little sloppiness never hurt anybody. I mean, I've seen mangas where there's actual, like, very, very definitive, like, sloppiness, which is not that bad. Like, I've been watching a lot of animes as of late, and I've noticed a lot of things that, that I'm insecure about in my drawing. But then I look at, like, actual how professionals drew it, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing anything bad, am I? And then this would be the third. Just kind of goes a little longer past the chin. Thank God for the stabilizer tool. Otherwise, this would be hell on wheels. Okay. I've basically got the right idea. Like, that's exactly what we're looking for. Okay, how did her hair go out from the sides? Her hair was kind of weird. Let's see. So it's like 1, 2, 3. And then she has like a big strand that comes out. Just kind of does something like that. Kind of curls out. And basically that would connect to that. Like, one thing I'm trying to do as well is trying to make these characters as differentiated as I possibly can because I don't want to repeat the same stuff over and over again. Nope, that wouldn't make the characters very unique, now would it? Oh. I think that the strand needs to go extra a little bit more. Yeah, just kind of something like that in general. Like, you guys can't see, but I am looking at a reference right now. Alright. Now for the top of the head, this is the trickiest part. We're just going to kind of draw a curved line. Because it's always hard to just get this, like, how high it needs to be off of the top of the head, and usually I always get it wrong, so then I just have to fix it manually. Yeah, because her head goes back more, it doesn't curve immediately. Okay. One thing I'm seeing though is it kind of looks a little too squared. Probably because the divot needs to be in her on the forehead, like in the forehead area. And this probably needs to be not as thick. Kind of naturally, just needs to kind of naturally fall off the top of the head. All little things you pick up on, and personally, this is just my process with hair. Not my full-blown process, but because this is more like just wing it kind of stuff. Like with manga, you can really just get away with a lot of like, you could just, what's the word? Half-ass it. Like you really can. Unless it's like a panel where there needs to be a lot of detail, and then you need to kind of really put a little bit more effort into it. Okay, that's not looking too bad. It's kind of looking accurate to what I'm looking for. But we're still missing some details. Okay, I don't want to add eyes because I kind of want that dramatic effect. Okay, so... And I feel like our nose is a little too far out, but then again, if I just draw an eye kind of in place... Yeah, it don't look too bad. It'll probably look wrong as soon as I get somewhere else, but... I think that the hair is a little too high up off the top of the head. Here come all the insecurities. So I'm just going to collapse those, just kind of bring this down a little bit. That kind of looks better. Not too much of a fix. Not bad. Oh yeah, there we go, there we go. Alright. Hopefully we don't have another night like we had with when we were trying to draw What's-Her-Face from Arknights. Oh god, that was a nightmare and a half. If you don't believe me, go watch the short. If you guys are wondering how many more shorts are left for the summertime series, we're on, I think, number 9, so there'd be 4 more. Because according to Google, there's 13 weeks in summer, so I just put 13 shorts. Okay, now I need to add the little divot in her head, which is probably one of the trickier parts in my opinion, because you gotta really get in the right spot. Maybe that's what'll fix this kind of squaredness going on. Whoops. Okay, so it's just a little divot. Okay, I know what's going on. So the back part of the head needs to be bigger, and the front part needs to be smaller, like that. But just gotta get the curves and all that stuff correct. Okay, I can't tell right now, but that might work. Because she has one of those, what are they called? A hokey or something like that? The things that stick out of the middle of the head, they're like heart-shaped and stuff like that. Okay, that don't look too bad. My brain's doing the thing where if it can't see the full picture, then it's like, nope, it's wrong. Right. her thing, I don't remember what this thing's called, a hoagie or something, is just a straight, it's one that just goes straight up and straight back down. It has a bow on it, but I don't think we can see the bow. So, yay! No more details. Okay, would you be able to see her two, like, braid things in the back? How did those even connect? That's a great question. I just drew it. I didn't really think logically about it. Hmm. I don't think you'd see that from this angle. I really don't think you would. I think you may be able to see on the opposite side because how far back are we? We're pretty far back. Yeah, I think you can't really see those sticking out, so I'm just gonna go with it. Okay, now her horn. So her horn comes out of the second strand back. Yeah, this is a succubus, so you wouldn't even see the full horn. Be like right there. Okay, that looks a little too high up. When in doubt, just go outside the layer. Nope, too small. Okay, that might work. A little too thin at the top. There we go. That looks better. Okay, I feel like we're still missing some details, though. We are. So, she has a dress going on. So she has like chains going down her neck. Oh, hang on. See one thing I missed. Right there. Okay. So this would be technically her clothing. So she has something that I drew randomly that worked that comes out across the shoulder. It just kind of rests atop the shoulders, goes down to the torso. So probably more like that. Nope, too wide. That might work. Something along those lines. Just gotta imagine this up close. Okay, that's not that bad. Yeah, that's pretty close. But she also has chains that come down from the neck. Shit, for that I need a very specific brush. Guess I could just draw them manually. Never said I was a good drawer. I never said I was a professional artist. Whoa. Nope. It's not perfect, but it'll work. Nope, that's definitely not right. Too small. That's more effective. Okay. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Kinda something like that. I feel like it would be a little higher, coming a little higher off the neck, but then again, when you're trying to hold something up, it kind of goes like towards the back of the neck. So yeah, I think we need to reposition that. Needs to be coming more like from the back of the neck and curve down. Kind of more like on that angle. Okay, that might work. That might work well enough. Okay, it does look like the character, so that's good. Like, it does match her. So do I just give the hair detail now and just call it? Which is just these little lines. So I am looking at a reference right now, so I am sorry if anybody is like chatting or anything. Oops. Like, I don't really think when I start these pages, I just kind of go for it. I go into it with like a somewhat idea of what I want to draw, and then it just kind of comes to life on the page. Nope. Okay. That looks pretty decent for now. Do you think that the hair is a little high of the head, but again, I don't think we're really looking for anything like picture perfect per se. In case you're wondering if color will be added, yes, but it will be grayscale because I wanted to do it all in color, but I just realized that's going to take way, way, way too much time to do. Okay, where's that font? There it is. The text isn't final, I'm just kind of positioning it. I'm afraid this is the part where we say the part where you take a little nap. a second. This is the hardest part. Sorting your text and stuff. That's the hardest part, in my humble opinion. So, my dearest sister, I'm afraid this is where you take a little nap. Don't worry, it'll only sink for a second. Oh, forgot to add a period. Then we do a then we basically do the same thing, but on the opposite side. Okay, panel 2. Add a panel. Okay, then in the second one, it'd be like close up of Drusilla saying like no wait or something like that. Because she's being held captive right now. Alright, this up close part is kind of tricky, isn't it? Okay, so I gotta get her yelling. So, wide mouth. Whoa. So, hang on, guys. So, that'd be the lip. Oh, Christ. Close proximity is not one of my best. So, just bear with me while I figure things out. But one thing I have figured out is that if you are going to like do a lot of dialogue, like a manga with a lot of like dialogue, you're going to be drawing this a lot. Like you will learn how to draw mouths. Is what I'm saying. I can't really see what I'm doing. Come on. I gotta make her look like she's actually yelling. That's usually like a wide mouth, wide open. Looks too relaxed. That's more of a, yeah, that's more like a shouty mouth. Kind of works out too. Only problem is it's a little too big. Like I said before, the way that I draw is I draw a placeholder, then just kind of construct it slowly but surely. You would think that drawing this a gazillion times, I'd be used to it by now, but no, you never get used to that. No. That's the fun of it, guys. only time you really have an easy time is when you're having a good day. Actually, let me just erase those for now. Is that the teeth? So our teeth would be a little bit bigger. So we have the one thing in the back. Okay, let's not make her teeth go out of her mouth. Okay. Getting there. We're still kind of off on a few things, though. Like this whole part right here, I think, is off, which is a common issue for me. Yeah, because that goes up to the nose. It's just always that nose to mouth ratio that is the trickiest part, especially when it's like an up close view. That makes it even more tricky for me, personally. Whoops. What the heck? Apparently the neighbors are talking. Okay, that'd be that one. Yep. Now I got to get the chin correct. Yeah, because you have the little bump for the lip. Another thing I got to keep in mind is that when your mouth is open, your thing, whatever this thing is called on your mouth, your mouth, like your bottom jaw, kind of goes down quite a ways. Oh, sure. Add some pressure lines, just to kind of add that dramatic effect, because usually when you are shouting, you're like overextending like the flesh of your lips and stuff. Okay. Now we just add some hair. Which there wouldn't be much because her hair goes back quite a ways. I guess for the sake of sanity, we could do that. Either that or we just put some... Yeah, let's try that. This is always the part I hate about drawing side angle the most, is getting the hair ratio. Too small? Like I said a gazillion times, we're not trying to be perfect. We're kind of trying to just be good enough. I Could have just given Drusilla such an easy style, but nope, I had to go specific with like a certain everything. This is what I do if I'm ever unsure about something. Just kind of resize it. See if changing the size might help. It almost works, but it doesn't work. Figure that one out. Always getting this size ratio correct. That's the biggest pain in the fucking ass. Oh, I forgot to make a new layer apparently. Oh well. I'll just reconnect the line. I really feel like I can do something like this. I just gotta figure out the freaking right size. Like I said, I've got that curse of like, if I can't see what I'm drawing, then my brain just turns off. That's why close proximity stuff is not my forte. Let me just see about this. Might... Okay, stabilizer, really? Okay, that don't look too bad. Why couldn't the other one have just gone that easily? Okay, let's see if we can add some detail to this one as well. Okay, adding those two strands was definitely a win. Ah, that feels wonderful. So we'll wait. So this would be like frantic. So I'd imagine, yeah, something like that. Maybe do this thing again. to kind of make it look like it's more on point with the actual. I don't know. Either that or what we could do is just go like this. Please don't crash, please don't crash, please don't crash. I would choose something along the lines of probably that. Like something like this. Because that kind of speaks frantic. Let's see how small I can make it. Okay, I think we've got a second panel. Now the third. Okay. Now comes the fun one. The one where she actually has to be, like, knocked out. Which I've never, like, interpreted before. So this will be interesting. And roll 3. Like, we're just doing bare bones shit right now. We're not really doing anything drastic. Okay. So I need to honestly see what that looks like. Let's see. Now that wouldn't fit, would it? First thing that comes up is freaking Yamcha pose of all things. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Like, no, like, pupils in the eyes. But I've got to do it correctly. And considering this is like demonic magic, this could like literally be anything. Like she could literally snap her fingers and she just like out. But I don't know how to draw the snapping finger pose. And I'm not going to attempt it. Just trying to think of the easiest way to simplify it for me. Well, I guess what I could do is I could do like a panel. Like for panel 3, let's see. Frame divider. I need to be on the right layer. Like a long rectangle one of her mouth. Like this character's mouth. Like saying nighty night or something like that. like that's kind of sinister. And this is kind of supposed to be a antagonist character, so it makes sense. The first thing I need is a middle line. Okay, the guideline. But getting it right down the center is going to be a pain in the butt. That works. Like I just said, I am not the best at drawing up close and personal. Like I am not the best at drawing up close stuff. And I'm trying to imagine the up close perspective face. Like yeah, this is always the parts that I hate drawing the most in any like comic or whatever. Okay, I guess I can just start there at the mouth, which would be kind of a sinister little smile. It's not really a smile, I would say it's more of a grin. Like I said, guys, this is going to be a much more mature story, so. Though I'm having a hard time trying to sum it up in a certain amount of episodes. Because the problem is that I like to write stories that are very detailed, very character heavy, very lore heavy. Is this on a separate layer? No. Okay, gotta flip that on the opposite side. Just so it looks like it's somewhat symmetrical. And the teeth line. There we go. All right. Got some teeth. They're kind of crooked though. I don't like that. Like the best way I can describe like writing a manga to you guys, it's like writing a storyboard. That's exactly what it is. It's like writing a very animated storyboard. And it's not necessarily easy. Like I saw a very relatable video lately, or recently, it was yesterday, and it was PewDiePie attempting, one of the biggest YouTubers by the way, PewDiePie attempting to make a manga of his own. And watching this just put a big smile on my face because he went through every struggle that, well, I went through in trying to learn how to make a manga. And yeah, it's not easy. It's very, very tedious. Lots of work, lots of time, lots of effort, lots of blood, sweat, and tears. face a little too round. Okay, now we do the nose. Too small. That said, I think that PewDiePie should continue making mangas because he actually did a really cool he had a really cool idea. It was very interesting. First of all, he made one with like little to no like he no speech bubbles or anything, like no plot, no like definitive story. That was an immediate like, whoa, that's like different kind of thing. And it is different, but I like different. And the guy, I think he discredits himself way too much. The guy can draw. Like, the guy can draw. He is an artist. Like, I look at his stuff and I'm like, he can do some shit that I wish I could do. Like, he's really good at landscapes. He's really good at traditional, which I really wish I was good at, but I started traditional and I hated it. Symmetry was my enemy. Okay. Yeah, we've definitely got some shit going on here. Not sure what, but... Well, I do know what's going on. I think we've got one, the face is too wide. Two, I think the nose is just throwing me off. Hang on, let me go back. Let me put the mouth down just a little bit more. Sometimes this is what you just gotta do. Sometimes you just gotta dink around and just kind of experiment until you figure it out. Okay, that did do something. It kind of looks like she's looking down now, though. That's not what I aimed for, but it does look better. Okay. I think now we can start to add some other details. For that, I need to see the actual reference of the character. Okay, so on this side, no hair is covering down here. She has a little heart tattoo right here. But this entire side is covered. It's like an eye patch. So let's just figure that out. Too small. Knew that was going to happen immediately. It'll come together, guys. It's just going to take a minute. As you saw with the previous one, yeah, hair is really hard to judge. Big strands. Not small strands, big strands. No, 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 no. I can see that. There we go. Okay, I think I see what the problem is, and that's the... I don't know. Well, let me erase these lines and see what happens. That went back up. There's nothing on this side except that one that comes down from the side of the face, right? Yep. Curls around the horn. I'm not worried about getting the stuff below the panel correct. That's why I'm just kind of half-assing that. Okay, getting closer to what I want, but not quite. Okay, let's just try this approach. Is it any different on the other side? No, it's the same. Okay. No, no, no. God, I hate large scale shots. If this was anything else, I'd be speeding right through it, but no. Always gotta have our weaknesses. Okay, let's just erase the chin line, see what happens. Okay, it's not looking terrible. Okay, I think I can see something that can be changed. And that's that spot right there. Bring that more into the face. Again, I'm sorry that you have to hear the taps, but I didn't want to get the full setup, like for streaming setup. This is just something I wanted to do nonchalantly. So let's try this again. Just kind of get that ratio. Nope, that fucked it up. needs to be bigger, but every time I try to make it bigger, it just doesn't. Yeah, it just doesn't want to behave. Let me try something like that. Hmm. Maybe. Maybe. Okay, where's the mouth? Right there. Nope. Okay, let's add some hair details. Oh, for the love of. There we go. It's not really me, it's my stabilizer. Okay, then she has a heart tattoo thing on her cheek. Don't ask me what that represents, I have no idea. Wow, I'm usually terrible at drawing hearts, so that's actually really good. Okay, and then she would talk, say something like "Nighty night, sister." Whoops. Okay, where's the font? Okay. Then we need something like a manga bubble for that. Probably just a nonchalant one. Something like that. Okay. Not too bad. Should probably color the inside of the mouth though. Okay. Now, how do I interpret someone getting knocked out? That's a great question. That's a really good question. Could just draw like a silhouette of her like in pain or something like that. Silhouettes are much easier than drawing the full blown character, I'll tell you that. I actually need to look at an old thing for that. Okay, let me think. Where's the one where she gets down on her knees? Right there. But then she kind of jumped back up. How to interpret a character getting zapped? She doesn't necessarily get zapped. I'm just trying to figure out how to do this the easiest way that's not going to kill me. Okay, I think I might have an idea. So, the only thing I can think is maybe a drawing of, whoops, not that, a drawing of Drusilla on the ground, because she technically would fall to the ground. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out how the fuck I need to put this. I think I got an idea. Well, that's actually pretty easy. That gets the point across enough. So I would need to go to, yep, there. Have her like snap her fingers, so like a snap sound effect. So for that, what we could do, select, remove. Okay, I wouldn't count that as a panel. I would think something like that. It's not the worst hand pose to draw, but it's also kind of tricky. It's actually hard to finger a little bit. I can't snap my fingers. At least not how normal people do it. Oh, there we go. Okay, let me actually take a look at a good reference. Snapping. Not de-snapping dipstick. Snapping fingers. Hand pose. Hand pose. That's not the worst thing in the world to draw. I mean, I guess it all just depends on how you draw it. It's not the worst thing in the world, but it's definitely not easy either. From this side, could it just be flipped? No, it would change. Okay, so how do I even go about drawing this first? Well, let's turn off that first before that confuses me. So, okay, new hand pose, guys. This is not gonna be easy. So the wrist would come together like that, pretty much. Then on that side, you'd have the thumb go up. Oh, I might need a lot more room than this. Yeah, then again, I could just shrink it, it's no big deal. Yeah, the way I'm looking at it, it looks completely different. I guess it all depends on how you draw it. Like I'm looking at a reference. This is definitely going to take some experimentation. No doubt about that. Honestly, was not expecting to draw this. Right now, all I'm doing is just trying to get a good idea of what the hell I'm drawing in the first place. Trying to find something, then build off of it. Get that stupid stupid watermark was not there. This would be a lot more easier. Okay, we're getting. We've got somewhat of an idea of what we're doing here. Again, everything's just kind of a big puzzle right now, so nothing's like really set in stone. Never attempted this before, so this might take a while. Okay, that's. Okay, then that finger connects to that finger. Okay, I can already tell the thumb's way too huge and not in the right place, but that's okay. Like I said, we're just kind of drawing something. Looks like she's giving the bird. Nothing wrong with that. But I gotta get the finger anatomy correct. Like the finger shaping. Yeah, more like that kind of a shaping. Yeah, that thumb is humongous. So I definitely need to tone down that thumb. But again, we're just kind of learning. We're just learning as we go. Mm-mm. Okay. So what I'm seeing is that the thumb needs to be a little more straighter. Like I can already tell. Oh man, this is not gonna be fun. For one thing. Just draw that finger. Okay. Ooh. Okay. Hang on. Okay, then we have that the index finger. But that's not too difficult. It just kind of sticks out like this. Anatomy, isn't it wonderful? No, it is not. Okay, so this finger's definitely not right. It needs to be thicker. What the flip? I swear this thing has a mind of its own. I almost say that's pretty damn good. Maybe not this connection right here, but that's pretty damn close. Like, that is pretty freaking close to what I'm looking for. And I think, just so we're not here for millennia, I'm just going to increase in size. It's not perfect, but it doesn't really have to be. Okay. So now the connection done for the wrist needs to be correct. We're going to trace over this, don't worry. I just got to complete it first. Okay, that doesn't look too bad. For a first try, that's actually not that bad at all. Like, I can definitely see a hand. Okay. Just do the trace over. Okay, now that I don't need the reference anymore. Oh, sorry, return of Max, how are you doing? How long will it take you to do every chapter? Whoopsie. How long will it take you to do every chapter? Sorry, I was looking at a reference. I have no idea. I'm trying to get it done within a certain time frame. And right now I am under constant stress. Constant stress trying to get this just done. I'm aiming for two pages per day, but I decided to do this page because I was bored. Because why not? Hey, it saves me a lot of trouble in the morning because I don't have to do the tempos when I get up in the morning. Yay! Okay, oh, thank God for references. That's why I say using references is not a bad thing. It's never been a bad thing. Whoever came up with that bullshit should be hung. Even the greatest artists in history have used references, so hate to burst your bubble. People like Leonardo da Vinci, yeah, they use references. The Mona Lisa was painted using a reference of a real lady. It was one of the very first questions I ever asked when I first started drawing. I asked my art teacher, is it okay to use references? You should have seen the look on her face. Or you should have heard her response. I didn't see the look on her face, but you should have heard her response. She's like, yeah, don't She was like, "Yeah, that's stupid. Don't think you can't." I get that muscle memory. Yeah, it's good to have, but if you need a reference, like how I just need a reference, like if I tried drawing that using just my hand, we wouldn't even be this far. It's a little wonky, but can't be too picky. Cannot be too picky. But yeah, this story is really turning out to be kind of one that might be extended because there's a lot more to it than I thought it would have, and I didn't intend it to have that much. It was supposed to be just a simple backstory. But no, my brain likes to be like, ooh, we can add this, ooh, we can add that. Ooh, yes, do this, ooh, yes, do that. Like, that's my brain in a nutshell. It's a chaotic fucking stupid butt when it wants to be. I have a I have a very, very heavy imagination. Alright, turn that off. Okay. Yeah, looks a little wonky, but hey, it is what it is. I think you would see. Oop, I see that. Whoops. Yeah, it looks a little wonky, but that's right. It's my first try. There's bound to be some inconsistencies and such. Oh my god. Is that right? Yeah, it looks a little weird, but. Wait, doesn't she actually just kind of wear gloves? Yeah, she just wear gloves, so yeah, that would even matter. Fingers are pretty much on point. I'm just going with it. Ugh. Okay. Now the fun part, moving around the text and figuring out where it goes. This one should be pretty simple. Snap. So it definitely needs to be bigger. Okay, what size are we at? We're about 178. About right there. 126. You asshole. Again, if anybody types in I don't see it, I'm sorry. Sometimes, but I had to look at that reference, otherwise we would have been here for centuries. There we go. Okay, snap. How's that look without the brush? Okay, I don't like that. Let's push these guys just a little closer together. Okay, so what I need is actually like a sound effect kind of asset. Yeah, one of these things. One of these things. That way it indicates that there's actually a sound there. Maybe try down here. Not necessarily the easiest thing. No, stop it. Would this look too boring? I really wish I could just fucking rotate it. Okay, that kind of looks okay. That actually didn't turn out as bad as I thought it would. Wow. Okay, I think I can add another asset here as well. So where's that? Yep. So that needs to be underneath that. Let's see. Not the gradients, please. That would be the manga bubble thingamajiggies. And no, using assets is not cheating either. It's a tool. Seriously, whoever comes up with these rules really needs to be fucking, like, put in jail or something. Make life easier, not harder. It's the right idea, but kind of. Something like that, maybe? Maybe something like that might work. This is just kind of an experimental thing. Which is kind of what you gotta do when you get to this point. Just kind of experiment with something and see if it works. You do not know how many cool effects I've come up with just by doing that. Let's see. Okay. Whoops. Okay. Seeing an issue and not really liking it that much. Yeah, I don't like it. That's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Whoops. Probably something along the lines of this would work better. Yeah, that already looks 10 times better. Could I maybe get those underneath? Possibly. Okay, same deal. Just gotta erase the excess. I think this looks much better. Something tells me there's a storm a coming, 'cause the wind's starting to blow. Yeah, if you can hear the curtains rustling, sorry. They're right above me. We had to basically rearrange my room when I got my new bed. I well, I technically didn't get a new bed. I just traded my sister her bed for my bed. The bed frame specifically, not the actual like bed. Like, the mattress and shit. God no, that'd be weird. But yeah, that was a day. That was a lot of work. Practically just rearranging my entire room. And guys, I've got a big room, so yeah, it was a lot of shit to move around. A lot of stuff. Okay. One thing I don't like is that it kind of cuts up right there. Kind of looks like it's squared. Well, I guess what I could just do is go something like that. No, because then that makes that a little weird. Try something. Whoa. Like, these are just things you've just got to try and just see if something happens. I don't like any of those. Okay, I guess what I'm just gonna have to probably do and see if this works is maybe cut that off. That kind of looks right. Okay. Okay. Now, on to the last one. And by the way, guys, this is all free software. This is not like stuff you have to buy. This is actual free software. If you want to make a manga, Ibis Paint. Completely free, unless you unless you want like the big brushes, then you just gotta, watch an ad for about 45 seconds, which is not bad. But you have everything you need to make a digital manga. Okay. So the fourth one, I would just imagine it being probably Drusilla passing out. Oh. Oh yeah, I didn't count as a panel, did I? So now we would draw like Drusilla's like face and her eyes like going dead or something like that. I don't know. She doesn't die. She just, well, she's immortal. She can't die. She doesn't die. She just gets knocked out. So maybe like a close up of the face. Whoa. Gotta leave room for her eyes. Okay, so her eyes would just be kind of dead weight. Okay, so there's the crest towards the nose. Is that her eye? And I don't know, eyes at this angle are always a pain for me. I don't know why, but they are. Oh, now Ibis is doing the thing where it's like starting to say, hey, it's too much. No, it's not. Shut up, bitch. Okay. Her eye looks too open. It needs to be more dead. Well, not dead, but you know what I mean. Like lidded, I guess you could say. Half lidded. Yeah, like that. Like that. Okay, I'll worry about her eyelashes in just a second. Because it's not like a electric shock. This is like demonic magic. So she probably just like, snapped her fingers and like she just went out. Like this is demonic magic we're talking here. Okay. Now let's give her some eyelashes. Okay, this is gonna be a little tricky. Two. Two. Three. And then she has the thing that goes back like this and out like that. Something along those lines. Hopefully it looks correct. Usually for this, I usually have a layer where I have it like upside, and then I just flip it and call it good. Because I'm lazy. Okay, that don't look too bad. Kind of looks a little weird, not gonna lie, but let me just kind of fill these guys a little bit better. Oh, you bet. You bet. There we go. Now it won't get in my way. Okay. Think we're getting somewhere. But I can't help but think that this is a little too, I don't know, elongated. Yeah, because it should be more like just a natural flow. It shouldn't have any like curves. Okay. As for the eyeball, not really sure I'm going to put there. I think it's more of a coloring thing where the dead eyes come into play. thought I said regular lines, you dip. I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out. How do you draw like dead ass eyes? Like, how do you draw dead eyes? Animate dead eyes. I don't know. Yeah, like soulless. Like they've got no soul in them. Like they're just dead. God, I watched enough more. You think I'd know how to draw this shit, but nope. Is this where I have to get kind of a little creative, like, you know, for the eyes? Does that actually exist? Hmm, maybe. Kind of did look interesting. Why does that actually kind of work? That's weird. That's weird how that works. But it looks like dead eyes. I don't know how some people came up with these like ideas for like dead eyes or something, but wow. Something like that too. Kind of give it some weight. Okay, let's give her some hair. Come on. Nope. God damn it, I had it perfect too. Wait, is my stabilizer off? Yeah, it is off. Okay. Like, what the heck? Where's my stabilizer? Like, shit. Okay. that her nose is going a little too far, though. Just a random note. Nope, that looks too flat. Okay. What if I can add like a little mouth? Or maybe. No, it just kind of feels like. Like that kind of works. Weirdly enough. Okay, let's get that actually connected. Is it like that? Still don't know if that fully connects as to what I'm looking for, but I think if I add like some sort of layout underneath, let's see. I know exactly which one I would need. That would be this one. That'd probably be either this one, which would have to go. That would have to go underneath, actually. Everything. Yeah, like an effect like that. Well, let's just dink around with it and see what happens. Because that indicates that something has happened. Like, it looks like she's being attacked or something's being done to her. This way, it has leverage. It has, like, what's the word I'm looking for? It, like, has. There's leverage to it. Like, it looks like something's happening. It doesn't just look like dead face. Like, the only problem with it is it's a little dark. And without color right now, there's not really much I can do. So I could either try that, or I could go for a gradient. A gradient would probably be a little bit more better if I'm honestly being, if I'm just being honest. all of those right there. I promise you can't really play with it that much on Ibis. No, I like the other effect better. I like the effect way better. Oops. Don't know. Okay. Nope, small enough. I'll go back to the hair. That's the mouth. There it is. Get rid of the bleed. There's quite a few things I could do here. Like, there's definitely a lot of color options I can do. I could do, like, black with, like, white outline kind of shit going on, just to kind of make it pop a little better. But for now, as a base, I feel like that's pretty good. And I think I only want to do one extra page for tonight, because I don't want to overwork myself. I've done 2 already today, so I don't want to work myself too much. Try Gaussian blur and see if maybe... No. Yeah, I think I kind of like that. Looks a little strange, but it does match what I want to happen. It's definitely closer to what it needs to be. I think I'm gonna add like a sound for her mouth though. Let's see. Kind of like a zombie effect. Like, that's what I was looking for, was like to be zombified pretty much. Or I could add like a sound, like a crack or something like that, that kind of symbolizes like control or like a breakdown or something like that. Hmm. Yeah, I think that can be read pretty well. I think I'm gonna call it there. Of course, I'm gonna rename it and all that stuff, but okay, random ad probably. Sorry, it's an app that still runs applications. So okay, well we got two done today, or three done technically. Drusilla page 6.2. Okay, that took about 2 hours. It looks like. Whoops, not a video. Save image. What did that take? About 2 hours. Yeah, that's about right. Okay. Well, I am no longer bored. Thank God. This actually helped to move things along quite well. So, plus it helped me to get past a hand pose that I am terrified to even try. Was terrified to even try, I should say. But altogether, I think that's pretty good for tonight. I don't know if I will. I mean, I don't know. You guys let me know if you want to see me draw this out, in a stream or something. But I try to only do like 2 pages per day because that's a pretty good amount for a day. But sometimes we have rare occasions like this where, I feel like I can do a third page. But I don't know. Let me know if you guys are interested in maybe seeing the process, even though it would be spoilers technically. But if you guys are interested, I am more than happy to stream it with my audience because, yeah, it is a lot more better to have company than to just be sitting in my room just like dinking around. Anyways, thanks for joining me for a couple of hours, guys. And sorry it's such a short stream, but yeah, my body says bedtime around 9 or 10 anymore, so it's bedtime. So, yeah, I don't know if I'll get back to this. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about it, and yeah, we'll see. But, anyways, thank you guys for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Have a great night, everybody.